Hello everyone and welcome to the stream, or welcome back. I am Razim and this is Ebon Sales Exalted Essence. I'm gonna turn it over now to... Who did recap last time?
It was me.
Alright, Moriarty, congratulations!
Because I had the really short recap.
Yep, I can vouch for
yeah,
this.
I remember that now.
You should make him do it again because the last one was so short.
Nice try. Go ahead, start us off.
Hey, I'm
Moriarty.
doing werewolf twice in a row.
Welcome to my life.
You don't do recap.
Yes, I do.
Shit.
Every time
Your
for the Saturday
dirty little-
game.
Your dirty, messy little lips. Whose Marten fun is that?
There, head pats. All right.
Anyways. Let's see, last time. Like the original people of the mercenary company, question mark?
They're the ones who run the mercenary company, yes.
Okay, then yeah, so we got to meet the big bad bosses at the mercenary company, and one of them tried to throw a ship at us, but I don't think it was very effective, and we had an epic battle in which I shot him in the face before he left.
And I got stabbed.
Yes.
You got stabbed. Stabbed pretty bad, but not as bad as it could have been. You got stabbed by Neves because he did a redirect. He did the
And-
old switcheroo.
The donation is answers again.
Different donation goal.
Did that not update? Okay,
Either
now
way,
it's updated.
it's yeah, we're looking pretty good. We just finished with that, and we've got that Death Prince guy here. He's vibing, I guess. I don't really
He
know
was
what he's
watching.
doing. You know, he watched. He's that kind of sicko.
He very much wanted to see what you guys could do. Though, thankfully, Guaco was able to recover pretty easily once the battle ended.
Guaco. Such a silly name. I'm
A
sorry.
magnanimous dispensation.
All he wrote is yes. The donation goal has been completed. Thank you very much, Toshime. Though it's sounding by Kerr's response that we're not gonna be thrilled about this.
Later learned was due to a Soulbreaker orb being detonated on the island. For those of you who don't know, a Soulbreaker orb is basically they have a little god with them, a god of crabs named Krabiris, as far as they know.
Beautiful.
Now, why did it not play the text to speech?
And yes, Kerr.
Also, I'm chuckling at what you're saying there, Decoy. It warms my heart. I'm one of those Decoy. You might recognize this. I'm one of those DMs who knew how to do at character creation the creation slaying oblivion kick. I shall turn all of creation into Martens. And I could also make a backstory that completely allowed it too.
Despicable.
I shall not do a combo that'll make me 5 essence higher than everybody
It's
else.
about tree fitting.
I do know how to make a character Essence 5 at character creation in Exalted 2nd Edition. And I know how to have the backstory to explain how to have that high
Jacqueline
too.
tipped $3.50. This is a test of the emergency TTS system.
Yay, it worked!
Okay. One last test.
Well, it's about tree fitty.
True tipped $3.50. Do not fear a man that spams 1,000 memes. Instead fear a man that spams a meme 1,000 times.
Oh, right. Right.
We're gonna get a lot of 350s.
While I'm testing this, yes. But this should be the last one. It's just easiest to work with the one that is, you know, guaranteed this is what we'll play, as opposed to another amount that is, you know, it could do the $5 plus, the $10 plus, the $25 plus, so on.
And Moriarty, if you wanted to try doing 350, I'm sure it would say 350 for you.
I will
I
absolutely
don't have that kind
add
of money.
that. I could definitely use it.
About tree fitty.
Casey tipped $3.50. Born too late to explore the Earth. Born too early to explore the universe. Born perfectly to explore dank memes.
Truth.
Ism is tempting because it leads you to believe that you'll be happy if you just try a little bit harder. And a little bit harder. But ultimately, you just get unmotivated and tired by demanding more and more of yourself, so you don't see the point in doing anything because it'll never be perfect. But done is always better than perfect. Failing is always better than being stuck in a cycle of procrastination and guilt.
I decided
Jesus,
to go
okay.
ahead and do that little thing there, Toshime, because of your donation, you know. Thank you for the support.
Indeed, one of my better quotes. I don't remember saying it, but obviously I did, because it is just as perfect as me.
Alright,
Are you suggesting that you have an imperfect memory?
No, I am perfectly so that I can appear more on your level, I believe is the term you use. Alright, are we ready to continue, everyone?
No.
Yep.
Yep, I am done testing. Everything is good. I just gotta copy paste these settings, but I am good to go.
This man steps out, majestic, regal. Like, behind him, you can literally see the sun blazing in the sky, despite it being so dark out here. And he just walks almost imperiously as he steps through the gate and just kind of looks around and stops and stares at Guaco.
I'm in trouble.
He crosses his arms. What
And my
did you
banner
do?
Yeah, must be.
Yes, just a pure deadpan. What did you do? As he's looking right at Guaco. Guaco, make a, let's see. Give me a second. I want to decide here what I want you to roll.
Whether I actually know this faction, besides
not that actually. Not that.
Whether I know who this is.
Mm-hmm. Let me see real quick.
Furry, who are you?
Because I know who it is. But
There it is.
I can't say because my character would know.
Give me a sagacity roll. So in this game, while he's making the roll, in this game, Decoy, they have in attributes. There's only 3 attributes: force, finesse, and fortitude. The player can decide what they want to roll, and then tell me how they're doing it, and I can decide if they can do it that way.
Do they get the yays or do they get the nays?
Do you not have sagacity?
I do.
We have gone over this so many times, Kerr. Neves has people for sagacity.
No. This is for Guaco.
Oh.
Yeah, this is just for Guaco. You would have no way of knowing who this is, Neves. You've never met this person.
I mean, I feel like if I rolled, 50 10s in a row, he would probably know.
You would not have the capability of rolling. Yeah, stunts are way cooler in this game. You either get 2 dice, or you can add something to the scene. And you can bank stunt dice. You can
define adding something to the scene.
Basically anything that could conceivably be there, you can add it. Or if it's something kind of outlandish, but there could be a reason why, you can run it by me and I can approve it or disapprove it.
So basically I'm just like, and by the way, the cavalry's here.
Not necessarily like that, but it's like, hey, you're fighting in a dungeon. Hey, I'm going to bound up, grab onto the chains hanging from the ceiling, swing across, and kick this person in the face. I didn't say there were chains there before, but you just added the chains to the room.
Okay, so adding something small and tactical.
You can also add something different, but it has to be approved by me.
Like in that last fight, you could have grabbed onto an anchor that's on the shore next to the docks.
And hurled it at the ship.
Yay!
Like, literally, with stunting, as long as I say, hey, that could be there, I will 99% say, yes, that's okay. Otherwise, if it's something big, you just have to run it by me, and I'll either say yes or no. It's your choice.
A request within reason. Gotcha.
Dice immediately. You can choose to bank them. But you can only use 2 stunt dice per roll.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know you could hoard them.
Yes, you can hoard them, but they go away at the end of the session.
Gotcha.
But you can also change those stunt dice into adding something to the scene later on. And this game is basically medicine, occult, all like the knowledge is rolled into one. For that roll, yes, with it. If there was a criminal syndicate causing problems and they needed to be stopped, he knew just the place to go to end it before it needed to be done was done for the good of the realm and the good of the people. He was always very much about minimizing collateral damage and devastation for those people. It was, to him, as he put it, it was far more harmful what I did than anything that Anathan. And now he's looking at you again, Guaco, just arms crossed, tapping his arm, basically going, "What is this? What did you do?"
It wasn't us. There was a bomb that went off before we got here. We're trying to stop the Shadowland from forming.
He looks around before looking at the little crab. Thank you for the message. I appreciate it, and it will not be forgotten. Gravirius nods. Of course, sir. Happy to help. Before he skitters over and climbs up onto Neves' shoulder. He kind of looks at Neves, and his eyes bow to you, Cyril. Greetings. I did not realize that a herald of the Great Maker was still around here. My apologies for my rudeness. My name is Ebon Scales. I hope I did not cause too much of a insult by going straight to business.
Greeting. I am Sim. Query. Are you an individual of the Atochthon?
Therefore, I have nothing but the highest respect for both you and your creator. Your services to creation were instrumental in liberating it.
And whether this puts us in danger, it matters not to me. I have promised protection to people nearby, and I will see it done. This being so close to them, it would be a grave danger to them.
I heartily agree that this is a great danger to them. However, you yourself are also perhaps one of the greatest dangers to creation.
Explain. Business first, then I would request that you explain yourself.
I believe such a... He kind of pauses mid-speech to consider before nodding. I believe that is fair for your assistance in preventing this disaster from spreading. I am willing to discuss matters with you and explain things beforehand. Is this acceptable?
Yes.
I also swear upon my duties and honor as one of the chosen of the Maiden of Endings that while you are with me, you are also under my protection, and I shall ensure no harm comes to you through any of my own associates.
Neves
I'm
is
going to whisper over to Neves. This is a Sidril.
You mean Sidereal?
Yes.
You may make both of you may make a sagacity roll.
Yay! I love those!
You said both of you. Does that include Sarah?
Yeah, Cyril can make it too.
Okay.
-1.
Watch.
Neves, this is obviously a Sidriel, are the Exalted of butterflies.
Ah, okay.
Okay, it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 to 5 successes.
Cyril! The Siderials are one of the fewest in number for the Exalted host. They were considered to be the viziers, the advisors of the Exalted host back in your time. They are the chosen of the 5 Maidens of Fate. Each maiden has 20 of them. They are chosen basically at birth for receiving their exaltation, and they are basically spirited away to heaven even before their exaltation to be trained, taught, and raised in heaven's bureaucracy so they might understand the roles that they need to take.
Yep.
They are the guardians of fate, and they ensure up stays up and not down, left, or purple. If something goes wrong in the tapestry of fate and things go crazy, a Siderial is responsible for fixing it. They are, in layman's terms, an easy way to put it, they are reality-bending super ninjas.
Policeman.
Yes. Their duty is to make sure fate stays the way it's supposed to. That is what you know about them.
Analysis. As an individual who seems to have a masterful pull over reality, there must be some good reason why you are present.
Yes, I have quite an understanding of the nature of the underworld in interacting with creation, and as the Shadowland has not fully formed here, I believe that I can prevent it from happening.
Decoy, you don't want my last Eclipse class.
Yeah, the last time Toshime played an Eclipse, he made Kerr very unhappy.
Don't worry about it. I would request your assistance in this matter, if you are willing.
What needs to be done?
Excellent. I shall begin work immediately. While I am doing so, I ask that you find any bags of salt within the village and begin spreading it out in a circle around the area.
How much salt do you need?
You need to form a circle around this village.
So just the perfect amount of salt.
I was just about to say that. Well, I suppose we know the perfect person to call on for this.
Somebody say perfect! Oh.
Hello,
Seven
Domino.
scales. Why am I not surprised that you're working with the fair folk? Yes, yes, darling. You and making sure everything goes so orderly. How you deal with your job, I do not understand. I'm going to go over here and get to work and pretend like I'm not seeing this right now. Dear God, my report is going to be difficult. Ketchup is not going to be happy with me.
Ketchup?
Not what you think.
As he's just going to walk over and sit down and looks like he is starting to meditate.
Ketchup chop. I guy's name.
Ketchup K-Jack. Not Ketchup Carjack.
Yeah,
Ketchup
the
Cahoots?
meme of his name.
Yes. Ketchup K-Jack. He is the oldest sidereal currently around. He is the leader of the Bronze faction, and he is the one who masterminded the assassination of all of the Solars for the good of creation.
Oh. So he's a wanted criminal.
No.
No, he's not. He's considered basically one of the greatest people in heaven at the moment.
Wasn't that whole thing seen as like a major fuck up though?
Yeah, but no one can prove it. So
Let me put it this way. My mage gave the proof in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's no proof tying the sidereals to the usurpation. So everyone knows the sidereals did it. But no one can do anything officially because there's no proof that the sidereals did it.
The mask that I fixed in the mage game is the proof.
Mm-hmm. The sidereals got rid of the proof.
I remember there being something about that mask.
Yeah, they broke it. And bad things happened. But yeah, literally, Ketchup works for like 20 hours a day. Even like when he's in his martial arts training, he's dictating notes to be sent out to different areas of Destiny, or listening to messages and then giving responses to it. He literally never basically stops in his work for the good of creation, and he is always striving to protect creation and ensure a stable, happy, good world.
Yes, and it's a very bad thing if he comes down to backhand you for something that you do.
Yes.
Which has happened in one of my other games.
Yes, you don't ever want to be in the same vicinity as him. This man is extremely powerful and terrifying. But yes. So, hello, darlings. So delightful to see you again. Tell me, what is it that you said such a delightful word for?
We need salt.
Salt? You need salt, darling. Oh, why did you say so?
Around
All
the
of your
city.
clothes are now salts.
You need to word it better.
Yes, all of your clothes are now salts,
Except your armor.
including your armor.
For all of us?
Yes.
That is not what we need. Please turn it back.
But look at you, darling. So salty. So perfect. Delightful look, darling.
While I appreciate it, I would prefer to have my prior equipment back.
Objection. I am not a gamer.
Cyril, you actually look like you're made of salts.
Exactly, I'm not a gamer.
But you said that you wanted salt. You know what? I think this is a good point to start our venture. So, decoy. And for everyone else in chat as well, we are going to begin what is called a venture. A venture is something that was introduced in this system here that I want to port over to like almost every one of my games now. So here we have our task, everyone. You have to spread a circle of salt around the village. That is the first thing you need to do. And so you have summoned Domino to help you. But you need to convince Domino to actually assist you and not do Domino things. How do you wish to overcome this obstacle?
I'd like to shoot Domino.
That is something you could try.
I'm not going to.
But you guys can talk among yourselves. How do you want to try to overcome this obstacle?
But I really want to.
I feel like the only thing we can really do is try to talk to him.
Okay. How do you want to try to convince him? He is a fair folk, so, you know, doing an interpretive dance actually could be something that would work on him.
I have nothing in performance, so...
If you want to try talking to him, you can. That would be a presence roll.
Domino, we require your assistance in stopping a danger to us and people that I have promised to protect. This land is going to turn into a shadow land, and we require a circle of salt to stop it. For after all, only your most perfect of salt could suffice in stopping a grave evil like this. Surely you agree.
Make your presence roll.
Add in where you want the salt.
He'll give it to you, but you guys will have to spread it.
Okay.
I will also lower the difficulty. 6 counts as a success for this roll.
Yay!
And you get 2 bonus dice if you wish to use them.
Yeah, I might as well.
See, all of my World of Darkness games work together, and in them, one of my player groups shoved a human soul into Domino. So, Domino always has a mortal soul.
I don't know if I should re-roll this. I mean, it's 4 successes. But I feel like I could do better. What do you guys think?
How many dice are you rolling?
What, Toshime?
4 should be good.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Yeah, you got 9. You could do better, but 4 should be good.
So, for you and everyone in the chat, for a venture, there are multiple different obstacles they need to overcome. They have just overcome the first obstacle of convincing Domino to assist them. If they had failed this roll, it wouldn't have ended the venture. Instead, they would have just had a new obstacle that they would have had to overcome then. So, ventures are fun. Ventures are very fun. And Domino listens to you. As you say that you require his perfect salt, he grins and snaps his fingers as your clothing changes back to normal. And suddenly there is a small hill of salt in the center of the village. But of course, I simply can't say no to some of my biggest fans. Truly, you understand the need for perfection.
Absolutely. Is it possible you could put it in a ring around the village? A perfect circle, if you would, around this village. And, in fact, you could even give a few pets to Marticus here in return for that. You know how perfect Martens are as well, of course.
Give me a presence roll.
Still the +2, or?
Yep. I'll give the stunt for that.
Gotta choose your words carefully. Still 6s and up?
Yep.
Then another 4.
You're now talking to a large Marten Imperial in very strange garb. It's Domino, but he is now a Marten.
Good God.
A human-sized Marten. Oh, but of course I know that they are perfect. After all, I've always looked this way. Don't you know that, darling?
Oh, and it is truly a perfect look.
As you see the salt rise up, float out, and form into a perfect circle around the village.
Dear God.
And as this happens, at the edge of the village, you can see the salt suddenly begin to glow with a faint whitish light from it. And as this happens, you hear a call from Ebon Scales from where he is sitting. You have those forces with you, yes? Those soldiers are with you?
Yes. The adorable assassins answer to my command.
You may wish to prepare them. We may have some undead attempting to rise up. Ones that may be resistant to the sun's light.
Understood. Men, form ranks. Circle around the sidereal. Or whatever, Neves. What was his name again?
Ebon Scales.
Circle around Ebon Scales. Defensive perimeter.
Make sure you watch the skies. You never know if any flyers or diggers could be coming. I'm going to be focused on trying to disrupt the boundary that's trying to form here and to prevent it from forming. The salt circle should be able to hopefully slow down anything that's coming, but you may wish to be ready in case there is anything on its way.
Right,
whoever did this likely
playlist? Or should I go
whoever did this likely menacing.
Okay.
Whoever did this likely was trying to create this Shadowland, meaning they might have forces already on the other side waiting to come through. They might still try to force it. It won't be easy for them, but depending on what being is doing this, they could force a rip open and push forces through to try to stop us. Right now, we are on the same side of creation.
My soldiers are resolute in their task. We will not let them through.
So now you have the task of guarding the circle. How do you guys want to go about this? You could set traps, you could set up perimeter and use like the tables and stuff to form makeshift barricades around the area. There's a lot of different things you guys could do. What would you like to do?
Are we needing to protect the salt circle?
The salt circle is basically there to slow them down if they try pushing through. It's going to be like trying to push through like a wall of molasses, and for weaker ones, they won't be able to pass the circle. Unless it was broken by something.
Alright. So we just need to protect Ebon Scales.
Basically, yes.
Alright. Then exactly what Neves has already ordered his men to do. Spears out, ready to... It's gonna be a ring around him, and the archers in the army, and I mean, we probably have sorcerers. Yeah, Neves would have sorcerers too.
Yes, you would have sorcerers.
They're all ready to go with against the air and anything that might come from the ground, and of course Neves himself is in the center of the ring, ready to jump towards anywhere that needs his assistance.
Cyril, Guaco, are you also going to do you agree to this defense as well?
Well, what we also could do is grab some of the salt water to make bombs, just to throw as a first line.
Undead do not like salts. If you guys want to do that. All right. Guaco, you give me a...
Neves will have some of his men assist with gathering that. Probably using various sacks and stuff, I'm sure, are still in the village.
Yep. Or buckets, that kind of stuff. Yep.
Buckets, etc. He's also having some of his men, and he himself is going to help make a wall out of, tables and such.
Give me a Neves. You give me a war roll. Guaco, you give me a craft roll. Is there anything Cyril wants to do?
Information. My gunfire is a star.
Yes.
Light in this area would be very appreciated.
Ooh, can I use my gun to essentially fire up and make flares?
There's already sunlight here because of my banner.
Right.
If you wanted to fire into where they're tearing the rift.
Guaco?
Yes!
Ooh, I like it. Guaco, or sorry, not Guaco.
I'm going to feat of strength to get the biggest container that I can to fling water at them when they come in.
Okay. Cyril,
keep
real
forgetting
quick.
that I have an extra die to literally every roll.
Cyril, give me a sagacity roll real quick. And while we do that, Domino is summoning a Marten.
Joke.
And he has the blueberries. He has the blueberries and he is happy.
Wow. That roll.
That was a lot of sixes. Like, holy crap.
And you rolled sagacity, Cyril?
Sorry. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 should be it. That's 0.
Yeah, nothing that you noticed. Cyril, give me an archery roll.
Archery. You mean ranged weapon?
Yes.
That's not the right screen. It's over on this screen. Got a 10 in there.
Joke.
No! 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay. Guaco, you are able to succeed with your feat of strength. You're able to find basically the equivalent of a large bathtub.
For the record, I did use my war excellency.
Yep.
I'm sorry for what I'm about to do in this combat.
No.
What do you mean?
Do you know your anima effects?
Yeah, my animas.
Slightly?
Quicksilver, I think it makes me faster.
It should be under your advantages.
Yeah, there's passive, active, and iconic.
Yep.
Oh, I've got Living Artifact, Community Spirit, and Resonate with. The Living Artifact one, I'm pretty sure, is the one that allows me to augment myself. Community Spirit is... I think it has some sort of buff where if we're doing a...
Working together.
Venture, yeah, there's like a buff to that. And then Resonate with... I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, by the way, this is a venture that you guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it does. I just know it. I have it.
So, with that roll, Neves, that roll, Cyril, just as Ebon Scales warned you, you can see undead beginning to move. These undead, you can see zombies, skeletons, but their bodies are strangely shiny. Like, you can see, like, their forms have been coated in some sort of, like, stone. You're not sure what it is, but it's a very reflective stone. And they're able to move as though they are still flesh and normal.
Rad.
But the sunlight isn't hurting them. But they do stop at the salt circle. And like you could almost see like an actual barrier form as they push against it. Cyril, with that roll though, you're able to see the tear point, at least one of them, from where you're at your vantage point, and you unleash hell. A bolt of searing light lancing downwards and striking that glowing dark rift and utterly obliterating it, along with the 24 undead crowding around it that are trying to come out or moving around. Neves, your army are ready. When the flyers come, there's no hesitation. The archers unleash hell upon them and just obliterate them. And under your glorious leadership, they also pour the water onto the earth. And as you see the ground start to tremble around you guys, you suddenly hear sizzling and just like the ground starts to shake before immediately just it stops and you feel like something just moved back under again. Whatever was trying to move through under the earth did not succeed in that at all, as you're able to just order your men around and ensure that whatever they try to do, your men are already ready to counter there. And Guaco, what is it you want to do here?
I have the bathtub full of water.
Yep.
I'm gonna jump in and smack with that and get out my hammer and smash the bathtub so that the water sprays everywhere.
Make a melee roll. Let us see a close combat roll.
The way I'm doing this is jump into the air and then smashing the bathtub with my hammer.
We are yeeting the bathtub. I love it. And you do get +2 dice on this.
Okay, I'll save one for later. And the extra die. Okay. And as I'm coming down, for my second attack will be actually smacking them, smacking the ground and rippling with my hammer.
Make another roll for me.
The reason why I get a second attack is I'm at iconic.
Yep.
For my... I'm letting everybody else know.
Cool.
There we go.
Bath time 4. Hammer 3. The salt water goes everywhere as you strike the bathtub and basically shatter it, but the sheer force of your blow sends the water scattering in all directions. And where it lands on these undead, it hisses and sizzles like acid on these creatures. As you can see, some of them are just starting to like twitch and convulse before you come down with your hammer into the ground, and the massive shockwave moves forth, and you see many zombies and skeletons just shatter under the blow. You can see, thanks to Cyril taking out the rift, as well as you taking out the main enemies at the Salt Circle, and Neves, your masterful command of your army, you guys are able to overcome this venture without incidents.
Quite handily.
Yeah, you
But
guys
of
succeeded on
course. I am Neves, King of Conquerors, and this is nothing more than another thing to conquer.
Yeah, because apparently whoever's doing this isn't trying to commit more of their forces to this. So they, after their initial forces repulse, and you are able to handle literally everything that they threw at you so handedly that wasn't even difficult for you. About the entire incident takes about an hour of all this going on. Cyril, you snipe any rifts that open up. Guaco, you are ready with your hammer to mash away any undead that try to get through the barrier. Neves, your forces are at the ready to deal with any flyers or earthbound. And by the time the hour passes, you see the salt circle begin to blaze like a halo of white light before exploding out in all directions. And as this happens, you can feel like the air become warmer, become more vibrant. You can feel like something that was lacking here is gone. Everything feels more alive, more real now. As that aura just spreads out over the island. And the few
is it
straggling
done?
undead creatures are utterly obliterated by this wave of light and basically turn to dust and ash.
As one of the undead tries to grab at Domino, grabs an arm, with that arm salt.
And then Domino beats it to death with an arm of salt.
Away from undeath. Oh yeah, I sent you a message. Discord.
Boop. Boop.
Well, we can barely hear you, except for the constant laughing.
That's what it is.
Oh, it's just laughing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, that got me. And as the light slowly fades, Evan Scales nods before getting to his feet and just dusting off his robes.
So is it done then?
Yes, this area has been stabilized. No Shadowland will form here.
I am grateful for your assistance.
I also appreciate your assistance. What you were able to do made my duty far easier to accomplish.
If a little bit more paperwork.
I feel such paperwork is acceptable for what we were able to accomplish here. You handled all of these issues and tasks quite well.
Joke.
Now, I do believe that I owe you an explanation, yes, as I promised.
Yes, what is this about a truce?
He nods a little bit. He kind of looks around and then just kind of wrinkles his nose a little bit before you see him gather his focus and you see a mark form on his forehead, some celestial mark, some celestial rune. Both Cyril and Guaco, you recognize this as the sigil of Saturn, the Maiden of Endings.
I have to make the joke. Anathema, kill it!
What's it? Who's Anathema?
No, it's just a joke.
Who's Anathema, though?
It's a sidereal that has
Okay.
Saturn's symbol on forehead.
Guess they just really like Saturn.
That you know how they have the cast marks of the sun. The sidereals
No.
have the mark. The sidereal. A solar has a marking of the sun that forms on their forehead when they channel essence. Sidereals have the mark of whichever maiden they serve on their forehead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you look at Toshime's symbol for his character, that's the symbol that appears on him.
Oh. Alrighty then.
And as he does so, a large manor literally rises out of the earth. He kind of waves a hand to the manor. If you would join me for refreshments, I believe this is an acceptable area to speak in.
Sounds good to me. And Neves will follow in.
This manor is very, very richly furnished. Like, this would be a freaking emperor's ransom for this place. As he leads you to a chamber, he does actually have tea and such prepared. You can see little tiny mechanical spiders moving around inside of the manor, and they accept like coats and such, and then hang them up if you guys have them, or setting weapons down. They take care of that, and he leads you guys into a private room, but you can see Neves, your men are getting little cups of tea and small little plates of food prepared and offered to them. As he sits down in this private room, as a couple little spiders come bearing trays of sweetmeats, cookies, and tea for everybody.
Ooh.
As your host, it is very disrespectful of me to not offer refreshments. As he takes his cup of tea and takes a slow sip of it.
And something that Neves would need to know, Saturn is the maiden of endings.
I see.
If that helps any.
Yes, you would know about the main of ending. She's one of the 5, on par with like the unconquered sun and Luna.
You need fish to tame cats.
Her duty is to ensure that endings happen when they are meant to happen. That everything has a time to end, and that when an ending comes, that it comes as it should be, not before and not after. Usually she is very tied with death, but it's not just death that she's tied with. All endings of anything. A chapter in your life, and then a new chapter forming.
You know why you have run-on sentences?
But yes. You have your questions? I believe it is fair repayment in order for me to answer them. So feel free to ask whatever you wish, and I will do my best to answer them for you.
I still wish to know what you meant by a truce. Am I to have some ire with you?
He kind of pauses and considers his words for a moment. I myself have no quarrel with you. Not personal, at least. However, you are a... Wait, Neves is a lunar, isn't he? Or is he a solar?
Lunar.
Lunar.
Okay, so I do not have a true dislike of you personally, Nevis. What your people did in the past was, he pauses, regretful, but it was necessary. However, I am of the Bronze faction. Nevis, you don't have to roll for that. You know all about this from your training in the Silver Pact. These are the bastards who basically murdered all of the Solars and threw you guys into exile at the edge of the world. They are the reason you have to have those tattoos on you, or you would turn into a mindless killing machine.
Nevis is sitting there for several moments, quietly watching him.
I explained how I use the word.
Now here's your chance to change him to the gold faction.
He's like, yeah, I'm never going to say this.
So,
Don't. And then he did.
I understand.
If you would like
Do you still believe what you did was right?
I personally was not among that number that did it. I simply know from the stories and histories that were written down in Yushan.
What do I roll to see if he's lying? Or do
That
I not
would,
need to?
if you wish to roll, you can. He does not appear to be lying to you, though.
While you
If you
may
would roll,
go ahead.
if you wanted to roll, it would be an awareness roll, but you do not have to if you do not wish to.
I mean, Nevis is cautious still. Let's see. So that would be 8. Too many dice.
There's never too many dice.
some people might be.
I mean, if you're gonna let me just roll extra dice, okay.
Oh, okay, that kind of extra dice. I'm sorry, this is Exalted. This is where rolling 20 dice can be normal.
That should be the right number. Seriously? All that and only 2 successes.
Yeah, that's a solid mood.
Yeah, he does not appear to be lying.
While you may belong to the same faction, if you were not involved in the events themselves, I see no reason to hold ire with you. The sins of the father and whatnot do not apply to the son.
It's difficult to describe it
I see.
to someone who has not witnessed this.
I also think this overweighs.
Is he, So is Neves aware of, like, how the Exalted souls work? Like, moving from one to the next to the next?
Yes, the Silver Pack would have explained that, yes.
Okay. While you may have the same soul, that does not mean that you yourself are the same exact person.
It's not that. It's the Silver Pack believes that we just decided to do this. This was a decision that took almost half a century to decide on. And it was fiercely debated at the time, even up to the date of. But we watched, or rather, they watched over and over again, solars descending and falling into terrible madness, millions of people suffering and dying, and the sheer destruction that was being wreaked on creation itself through the experiments and acts of the solars, who were ignoring all advice and attempts to moderate their excess and their dangerous impulses. This was the only future that they saw that would ensure that creation would guarantee survive. It was not a choice that was made lightly, though, at all.
I am seeking to create a new world. One of unification. One where all are equal. Yes, some may hold more power than others, but all will be equal, treated the same. That is the world I will create. That is the creation that will come about. Whatever happened in the past, we should remember it and ensure it does not happen again. But I do not see a reason to hold you accountable for the actions of that you did not yourself commit.
The difficulties are, we have watched and observed over and over again that given time, that almost without exception, we have yet to find one that solars descend into this terrible madness. And they can wreak such devastation, even if it was not their intention, that the cost of allowing a solar to move around and to act without restraint, eventually they will grow into too large of a threat for creation to currently handle.
Have you seen some of the people without restraint of my compatriots? Of the Dynast?
We have doing what we can to attempt to deal with that issue as well. However, there's only 100 of us. And the myriad threats to creation, not to mention the issues of fate itself, keeps us very, very busy.
And I suppose it is a good thing that I am not a solar. Whatever afflicts the solars, we will find it out and we will deal with it. But that is only something that can be done with all of us working together. Not solars alone, not lunars alone, not even your own sidereals alone. There has always been excess. There have always been those that have abused their power. Those that demand and give nothing in return. That will not happen in the world that I will create. Working together, we can do so much more than we can alone.
And I bet you have even seen his ending that he's talking about.
Mine is not an ending. He may have seen something, but it was not mine. For mine is the future.
You must not be foolhardy enough to think that you can live forever.
Oh, my personal death will come someday. But the unified creation that I will create, that I will bring about, that I know will live forever.
What I mean is what you will create before your own end.
Why did you have to go and exalt as a solar? I thought you would have made a fantastic dragon blood, honestly. I was really pushing to get you the destiny to exalt as a dragon blood before this happened, and you went and vanished.
It wasn't my choice.
Yes, I know. You just had to be heroic, didn't you?
All those slaves attacking me.
He seems a little bit torn here. Make your presence roll, Neves.
Using excellency.
Go for it.
Now that I remember that I'm supposed to add other stuff to it. Okay. That should be correct. Well, I like all those 8s. And there's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am very satisfied with that result.
Hey, Guaco, give me a presence roll from you as well.
Okay.
Did you roll the 2 extra dice, by the way, Neves? For stunting?
Nope, no, I did not. I didn't realize I got a stunt on that.
Yep. If you do something cool, yes. If you do anything more than just say, I swing my sword, you get a stunt.
Okay, fair enough. 11 then.
Look at me, telling my players to roll more dice and regretting my life choices.
And trying for a positive intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Second chance approach.
Okay.
Commit one mote. For duration of the scene, reduce the difficulty of social actions against characters with a negative intimacy towards the Exalt or her cause by 2. The character also double 9s on attempts to instill positive intimacies towards her Exalt or her cause while the charm is active.
Neves, you got 12 successes.
I did?
Yep.
Oh, does his thing apply to me too?
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's the
Because
cause.
you guys are working together.
Cool.
And does it give double 9s, you said?
Yes.
Neves, reroll those 2 9s. So you have 16 success or 14 successes so far. 14 successes.
Well, considering I started with 12 dice, I think that's pretty good. Well,
And
no,
that
14
was
dice technically.
Embassy, you said?
Presence.
Presence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Neves is more convincing.
you succeeded on the difficulty 15 roll.
Very good.
Yeah, you need over 15 successes to do this. And you guys succeeded because you guys are exalts.
And a charm helps.
Yes, it does. As you speak, Neves, and as you also speak, Guaco, you can see his face looking almost torn as he looks at Guaco before he lets out a slow, deep sigh. I do not agree with necessarily what was done.
I believe
But-
in a future that we all can live in peace. Even those few of the fair folk that may be interested in actually coexisting with us. I will find a way to eliminate the wild. I will find a way to give them a place. I will find a way to make sure everyone works together and is unified.
He nods slightly. I am not truly convinced. But I will not tell my superiors about you, nor will I turn an attempt to harm Guaco. I wish to see this future for myself, to see if it can exist. But I warn you now that should you stray from this path and fall, I will bring about an ending for you. A painless, gentle end. It is the least that I can do.
As it must be.
I would expect
already
no other.
I'm already treading a fine line with how I am.
You may add ally 5 to your character sheets.
Woohoo!
Each of you.
Oh, huzzah.
Because you went and turned the fucking sidereal to your side. Good job, by the way. I want to say that real quick. God damn it.
You wanted
like
us
I
to
can't-
fight him.
No, I was expecting this to be a conflict later on, and this to lead to Yushan trying to send assassins and issues at you guys.
Because this is the faction that he would have gone to the superiors in his faction, which would have gone against us.
Uh-huh. And you went and turned him to your side.
Just you wait until Neves maxes out his presence.
Very good, very good.
Neves does not wish to kill. Not needlessly.
Toshime, I trust this was a good donation goal for you guys.
Yep.
The donation goes meeting this guy?
Yes.
Ah, cool.
I was afraid it was going to be a backfire because of Bronze faction.
It was going to meant to be a backfire. Because it was going to be a Bronze faction sidereal. And then you went and convinced the Bronze faction sidereal that maybe you guys are onto something. And his overarching intimacy is the defense of creation at all costs. If you can prove to him that you can do that, he's willing to listen.
And then I limit break.
And then he might try to kill you.
As long as I don't limit break right here.
Now, what is this you said about me being a threat to creation?
Your kind has been launching raids upon the stability of the realm for centuries.
Is Neves aware of this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He probably helps.
I don't think he would have.
The Lunars are more comfortable in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
because
think...
the reason why they are is because that's one of the places that the sidereals cannot track them with the Loom of Fates. But the you would have been taught basically the realm is a usurper on what you guys did in the past. Murderers and killers, and basically fighting back against a place that's trying to wipe you out. Because you guys are also considered anathema by them as well.
Okay, so it's raids on the Dragonbloods.
Yes, raids on the Dragonbloods.
I was like, Neves would not take part in spreading the wild.
No. You would raid. You would launch raids against the realm.
Okay.
Against the Dragonbloods.
Yeah, he probably would have.
No, you guys basically live in the wild because it's the one place the sidereals can't send ninja death squads after you. Because when you go into creation, if they know you're coming, and they can know you're coming, they will have death squads waiting to try to kill you immediately.
Neves does not fear their death squads. He
should.
probably should, but he does not.
Now, before we go, Neves needs to pick up a pet spider.
What?
Those pattern spiders which are bringing you cookies and that, you just need to pick one up and walk out with it.
Oh, okay. Neves will pick one up.
Yes. How may I assist you?
You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
What are soft tacos?
No, Neves isn't actually going to do that.
You can convince it to join you and your army.
Well, did it not hear the speech he just gave?
Yes, but it was also making tea.
Fair.
I want to say this to you, Neves. These pattern spiders are the things that can make reality out of the wild.
Would Neves actually know that?
Guaco would be telling you right now.
Ah. Well, Ebon Scales, it seems that I could make use of your friends here.
Oh.
If they can make creation out of the wild, then that would be very useful down the road when, after all of creation itself is unified.
They would be able to help spin it into creation, but in order to actually get it to become creation, you would need solar level abilities. Something Guaco could learn how to do.
Well then,
Not too
Guaco.
far away.
You would need wild shaping technique to do that.
That would
Actually,
be an
I
easy
think
grab.
Lunars can get that too.
Then you could do too. I didn't know if it was something that Lunars could get as well. I did not remember.
So, how is Cyril responding to all this?
Cyril seems kind of indifferent, like he's watching back and forth, and he's just like, hmm. Like he's more like he's treating this like he's watching some sort of drama.
Ah.
Like if he had want or need of popcorn, he would have some.
You
That would
are
be easy
still
to grab.
flesh and blood. I think.
Do they need to eat?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm only mostly flesh and blood.
Oh no, you're almost entirely a machine. The only part that's human for you is the soul gem in your forehead.
Oh.
Yeah, you are entirely robotic.
Oh. I thought we went over this before and you said no.
They have a human soul. So they have the mind of a human, but the body of a machine.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. Okay.
Give me 1 second.
No.
So his machine-like mannerisms are self-imposed.
Yes. Here. Hang on. I'm sharing an image in the Discord, in the Ebon Sales. These are what alchemicals look like. You look like the one on the right. That's the Moon Silver one.
You put that?
Ah, yes. For those watching the stream, I am posting that in the tabletop image channel on the Discord.
Yeah, he looks like that, but bald and with a massive gun.
Yep. Their appearance can be customized, of course, but the one in the very back is made out of jade, red jade. The one on the far left is the soul steel one. Going right from there, you have the star metal one, the orichalcum, then the moon silver, and finally the one at the very front with the spear is the adamant one. You can see on almost all of their foreheads that little gem that's in their forehead. That is their soul stone. That is what makes them an alchemical and gives them a mortal soul. Everything else about their body is customizable and can be changed by going to the vats. But otherwise, their bodies are entirely artifacts, but they have a human soul. So they are just like people.
Correction. Mostly like people.
Yeah.
All right, so
are you a member of the Silver Pact on Neves?
Neves does not necessarily see directly eye to eye with them.
They give a lot of good resources and probably helped you make your army and all of that.
Probably. He disagrees with some of their practices.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, he does not believe that all dragon bloods need to be destroyed.
Only the vast majority.
Only the ones that are bad.
Like what?
Only the vast majority.
Quaco is not a dragon blood.
Little do you know.
Hey, do alchemicals have human anatomy?
Moving on from that subject.
They can get charms for that, yes.
Okay.
God damn it.
Hey, I was just looking at the art and I noticed that there was a clear indicator between male and female, and I was like, hold on a second, why is that a thing?